of that.
Every man became a sinner from the act of Adam and Eve.
Remember we explained what sin is, right? Were you there?
I'm explaining to you again. I'm explaining to you again.
Before you explain...
Can I explain to you? Do you know your grandfather? Have you heard about them maybe, but you don't know them? So how can you say, was I there when Adam was judged by God?
Did you hear my question?
Yes. Okay. No, I'm trying to make sense
according
because
to what you believe,
you're trying to deceive. You're not being, being right with me.
I asked you a straightforward question. You were just describing us about the interaction between God and Adam.
Yes.
So Adam, peace be upon him, because we consider him to be a prophet of God.
He wasn't a prophet.
Okay, we believe
he wasn't a prophet. He was a first man. That's all.
So God spoke to him, right?
Yes.
When he committed a mistake,
A sin.
Were you there? And were you?
How can you ask me that stupid question? Was I there? No, he is.
Okay.
How many generations has gone past? You can't ask me,
That
was
is not
I
a
there?
stupid question. You know why it's a stupid question?
It should be.
Okay, brother Tim.
You cannot ask
Were you
that
there?
question.
Right, you're not there. Were you there? Were you there?
No, you can't ask that kind of question.
Yes,
You can't ask that kind of question.
As you realize, there is a reason why I asked. So we were not there, you were not there. Correct? You were not there.
Yes, I wasn't.
Right. So were you involved in any way, shape in the part of the sinning that happened? Sin is an action.
Yes.
So did you also commit the sin that Adam did then?
That's what I'm saying. From the day, I'm going to explain to you again my belief as a Christian, and give me time for you to listen if it does make sense. Because what we call it, when God created Adam and Eve, there was a fellowship between man and God. God came and visited them. They talked with God, and there was that fellowship. You okay? But God warned him, this is what I've done. The day you will do it, you shall surely die. You will. Adam.
So who committed
In the day Adam when he committed.
one more time.
We already talked about that, my brother.
So who committed the sin?
I'm elaborating now. Give me the time now.
Elaborate by clarification.
Yes, of course.
Who committed the sin?
Just listen.
Adam or you?
We already agreed. It's Adam who committed it.
Not you.
Don't bring me back again.
But is it you?
Don't repeat the same
No,
question.
I want you to be open and clear.
No, it's been said already. Adam committed a sin.
And not you.
Now I'm gonna.
I'm gonna clarify that.
Give me time to.
Is it you as well? Or
You're
only
not
Adam?
been.
Is it you as well?
The seed of Adam is the seed of all mankind.
That's what I asked.
That's what I'm saying.
But I asked a different question.
I've said, okay.
My question is,
I'm gonna answer.
were you also a sinner for that sin that happened?
For me today, yeah, tomorrow I will die.
Did you commit that action of sin? Along with that,
today, see if tomorrow or after tomorrow I will die. The result of my death is in connection of what Adam did.
Did you commit the sin?
I commit this sin through Adam.
In the Garden of Eden, did you commit the sin?
Yes, I commit this sin.
So you were there.
Okay.
So you were there.
Let me answer now.
So were you
Let
there?
me answer now. Let me answer.
Do you know why? You're confusing everyone.
Can we?
So you need to clarify the confusion.
I ask
Did you commit the sin in the Garden of Eden?
I think
Mike.
No, don't play. Don't play. I answer you, yes, I committed the sin.
How did you commit the sin?
Because I am the seed of Adam. I am the seed of Adam.
Okay, let me ask you.
You know your seed. Your seed comes from far. You've got grandfather. Your feature of your face. It comes from your generation.
Did we not define what sin is, right?
No. Sorry, he's not giving me time. He's trying to confuse me.
No.
I've already answered.
You have
yes.
confused ideas.
You ask me. Yes. I committed sin through Adam. Yeah. But I want to answer.
You know why it doesn't make sense to me?
I want to
to
make
clarify
progress. I want to progress.
But I don't understand what you say. Because in the Garden of Eden, you were not there.
What do you
personally.
believe, Muslim? What do you believe? No, sorry. I want to ask you a question now because I want to know what you believe, and I will lay down as a Christian what we believe. Then we will see if it makes sense. Because your faith is on something only superficial. It's not like it has no substance. That's why I say it. Because
That's why you want to change the subject.
now
right?
listen,
That's why you want to change
the
the subject.
intention of God that man should live eternal. He says man is not physical only, is a spiritual. And the aspect that God sent Jesus Christ is to save that spiritual being of a human being to live eternal with him before him. And he said at the time, at the last time, at the end, he will take every pain, every suffering. The devil will be bound, he will not have no power. People will live in peace. And that's why Jesus came to suffer for all the sins of mankind. That's why he did not come to judge, but to save the world. And this is the message of Christian. This is the message. I don't know what you believe. Because what you believe is what is in the flesh. But in the flesh it's already lost. For all men die, today live and tomorrow die. But he said, fear not men who can only kill the flesh, but fear God who has the power to kill the flesh and the soul. And that's what the message Jesus Christ brought. And he said it's the message of love. It's not a preaching. No, this is what we believe. It's not a preaching. It's not a preaching. That's the
We
truth.
discussed
This is
and
the
we
truth.
said a stone or a fence cannot sin. And you said it cannot sin because it is not alive, it has no choice, and it doesn't know the commands of God. Because you define sin. You define sin as
Inherited sin, imputed sin, and
wait.
personal
No, this is a
sin.
classification, not a definition. You define sin as an action of transgression of God's law. So someone has to be a free agent or agent with free choice to commit those actions. So a fence or a stone doesn't have a choice. It's not alive, cannot commit a sin. Likewise, if you also agreed earlier on that if someone else disobeys God's prayer and you have no connection whatsoever, you are not also sinning or sinful because of that someone else has disobeyed God. You agreed to that, didn't you? You said, if Mark has no relationship with Tim, no lineage, and Mark disobeyed God, it doesn't make Tim a sinner. Tim is not sinful.
No, sinner in the sense if he doesn't, if he works in righteousness, of course.
Yes.
The sins
And you
of
agreed,
the sins of his father will not come upon
You
him.
agreed with Ezekiel chapter 18, where God saying,
There's no ambiguity of God. There's no
the
ambiguity on
the
Ezekiel.
grandson cannot be a sinner or sinful
If you work in righteousness,
or
yes.
be punished of the grandfather's
If you
son.
work in righteousness, yes.
You agreed earlier on that the grandson cannot be a sinner and be punished for the grandfather's sin.
Yes.
Everyone individually is responsible for their own sin and they're punished accordingly. The sinner that sinneth is the one that is going to be dying and be punished.
Personal
That's what
sins.
Ezekiel says.
Personal
So
sins,
I
yes.
asked you then, where does your classification, you classified sin as inherited sin,
Imputed sin.
imputed sin and personal sin. Personal sin we all understand and agree.
Inherited sin.
When we read Ezekiel, whole of the chapter, verse 1 to 32, where does the inherited sin come in? Because it clearly says the son cannot be a sinner for his father or grandfather's
Only
sin.
in a condition when the sons work in righteousness. If he is just in his ways, he shall surely live. But if he works in wickedness, he surely shall die.
For which sin? His sin or his grandfather's sin?
His sin,
His sin.
in sin.
So-
But I tell you, the
Where does
sin.
but come in?
No, sorry.
The Ezekiel chapter was very clear and ambiguous.
No, it's not.
He
it's
shall
not,
die
it's
for
not.
his own sin.
No.
Not
It
his
is
father's
the
sin.
tradition, the Jew, the temple Solomon built, yearly they were bringing sacrifices, burning in the temple for the sins of the children and the grandchildren. they were coming always to sanctify themselves for the sins of the family. And this is a tradition. It's always been there. So
Ezekiel 18, Ezekiel 18.
within the Jew, was a tradition. People
So now
always
you have a
went to
Bible which contradicts on the
it
very
doesn't
notion
contradict.
of sin and
No,
salvation.
it doesn't contradict.
Okay.
It doesn't.
Let me
it
tell
doesn't-
you.
It doesn't contradict.
Let me
No,
tell
it
you
doesn't.
why we find a contradiction.
Why?
Ezekiel 18 starts with a proverb. There's a proverb that if fathers eat sour grapes, not sweet grapes, sour grapes, the teeth of the children, is not effective. Is effective. God is saying no longer this proverb will be applicable. Wait.
There's no confusion.
Excuse me.
I've explained
Please,
that.
listen.
I explained that. There's nothing. There's no confusion.
The God of Israel.
He doesn't understand
No,
that. He
please.
doesn't understand Ezekiel.
Mike.
The Ezekiel was talking about the judgment.
Mike, listen.
I mean, he was addressing the
Mike.
social problem within the Jew themselves.
Mike, listen.
No, listen.
No, let me
I can
go
explain
back
because
again.
you read it again, but you don't understand that verse.
I
You
have
don't read it.
understood.
No, you don't
Like
understand it.
every decent human being.
He
will
was
understand. What
dealing
you are doing is this.
with the social problem.
Excuse me.
There were people within the society.
This conversation is not going to be very meaningful.
No, but you're coming
You
back.
have read,
You're
Mike,
coming
Mike,
back
Mike,
to the
listen.
same thing.
You have read,
You're coming back
God
to the same
of
thing.
Israel in the Hebrew Bible, in Ezekiel chapter 18 says, no longer shall this proverb be applicable to, in my own words, applicable to Israel anymore. Why? He's saying, if a father is good, he shall live, not die. If he has
That's
a son,
clear.
Let
So
me
wait,
finish. Let me make my point.
I already understood it.
No, you
I
haven't
want, I
understood.
want to know
Excuse me.
where you are standing. Why are you still going back?
Excuse me.
No,
The reason,
give
the
me your
reason
reason.
I'm saying is this. Ezekiel 18, you agree with me that
There is no problem. I don't. There's no
you cut me off in the middle again.
No, you want to get somewhere. I want you to get
No,
to
not
the
somewhat.
point.
I
want
want
get
you
the
to
point.
understand the whole teaching of
So
Ezekiel.
you are saying
Cut me
no.
off.
I want to understand. Your point is Your point is
No, my point is I will
because
explain,
my
not you.
sins.
Let him explain.
Because I will be judged for my sins,
heard
not the
Listen.
sins of Adam. Is that what you're trying to say?
He hasn't finished
No,
yet.
no.
According
Why
to-
don't you say it?
No, listen.
Why don't you say it? Say it. Excuse me. Say it.
According to Ezekiel, let's establish the teaching there, right?
I have no problem with that. I have no problem.
We're not letting him finish.
The teaching in
He has said
Ezekiel,
that over
he hasn't
again.
finished
please,
Over
my
and over
friend,
again, you keep on saying the same thing. Go on, finish now.
You interrupted
I
him.
give
do
you
you
time
agree?
now.
Do you agree?
I already
That-
agree. We already agreed.
You're doing that again.
Do you agree
I
that?
said
I haven't finished.
we already agreed on that. Yes. Move on now.
I am making a statement. I haven't finished.
Continue now.
I haven't,
I say I agree. There's
No, I haven't
ambiguity.
finished my statement.
Yes, keep on speaking. Yes.
Do you agree that? So have I finished my statement? I have. Do you agree that Ezekiel chapter 18 teaches sin cannot be inherited?
He doesn't say that. He said the condition if the father was an evil man and the son is good, the son will not inherit the evil of the father. That's so clear. You read that and it's clear. And if the father was good and the son was evil, the evil will be with the son. That's clear.
So
there's
you
no
agree
ambiguity.
the sin is not inheriting to the
He
generation?
is already inherited as well. He's inherited in a sense.
You just said if the father is evil, the son is not.
If the father is evil and the son is evil,
Does the son
all
inherit
the
the father's
evil
evil?
also goes all the way to the lineage, to all the family. That's what I'm talking about.
According to the teaching of Ezekiel, is it saying that the sin of the father is transmitted to the child and the grandchild?
Torah. If you obey the Torah, you will be no judge.
I'm trying to explain you
Is
again.
it?
I'm trying to explain to you again the way you understand. I agree in the same way that the sins are not passed to the son or to the father
Sins are not.
when they're all working, they've been just, they've been righteous. But when the evil is there,
Whose sins
it
transmit?
will go. And I explain to you.
It doesn't stop.
I explain to you.
No, stop.
Listen,
You are totally wrong. Again, according to chapter 18 of Ezekiel, if a son...
Can we move on from there? Because we understood that.
This whole chapter, you're interrupting
I
again.
want to make
Can
you
you
to
not
make a
interrupt me when I'm
point.
making a point?
Where are you
Would you be
standing
kind
with the
enough?
sin?
Listen.
No, just listen.
Would you kindly not
Where do
interrupt
you
when I'm making
stand
my
with the
point?
sin of Adam and Eve? So I think that's where is the point. The note
Listen,
is there.
Listen.
We cannot keep talking the same thing. We
The
agree on
reason
that.
why we brought Ezekiel chapter 18 is the whole world knows Ezekiel 18 is a refutation of this belief the sins can inherit. So let me finish now and let me establish why I say that.
So you are refuting the word of God when he said to Adam, "You surely shall die."
Excuse me, let me establish what I say. As you have said,
Make your point quickly because you keep on saying the same thing. We're not getting.
do you know why I cannot make it quick?
No, I give you
You
time.
are
You keep on saying-
behaving like many other Christians.
How many times do you want? How many times do you want?
Every time you want to
Sorry.
make a point,
How
you
many
interrupt.
times do you want? I'm gonna keep shut. I'm gonna shut
I
my
want
mouth.
to make point once, one scale, once, not twice, once. And the point I'm making is this. There is the Father. God starts, the God of the Israelites in the Bible, starts by saying a Father, and then goes into the Son and goes into the grandson. Father, yeah, good. Is it good or bad? Bad first, right? So the Son, the grandson, if he's evil, if the grandson is evil, is he being punished for the sins of the father or his own sin?
You're not asking questions.
I am
Explain
asking a
yourself.
question.
I already answered many times here. You keep on
One more
coming
time.
to-
One
no,
more.
no, no, no.
Not twice.
No,
Just
no,
one more.
It's the same thing.
No, just one more.
Let's go.
Final time.
Let's move on.
Final. One final
No,
time.
no, no.
Just explain
keep
one
on saying
final
the
time.
same thing.
No.
You
As
are
I
not-
said,
no, he's
look,
not
look,
saying
you know
you
what
do.
final
No,
means?
no,
You know what the
it's
word final
about
means?
It's the same thing.
Do you know what final means?
It's the same thing.
No more. This is the last time. So when the son
I will answer you again. When the son do good, yes, he will not inherit the evil of the father.
No, that's what I asked. When the son is doing evil, is he punished for his own sin or the sins of his grandfather?
If the grandfather was doing evil, the evil of the father will also go to the son.
That's not what the chapter says. You just made it up.
I can explain
It
to you.
says the son
Okay.
shall die
This
for
is-
his own sin.
I've
The
answered-
soul.
I've
Let me go back
answered
again.
you.
So you got it
I've
together?
answered you. Let's move on.
No,
Otherwise,
no,
we're
no,
not
no,
going
no, no.
anywhere.
I have to correct you because
No, you
you've
can't
totally
correct me.
Yes.
I know the verses.
Listen,
and I've
you're making it
answered
up.
you. No, I'm not
You
making
just
it
He's
up.
made it
going to
up.
read it.
I'm not making it
He's
up.
going to read it.
Here.
He has
Yeah.
not talked about it. If
Let's
the
read the
son
scripture.
or the grandfather
Let's
is
read the
evil
scripture.
Listen.
and the son is evil,
Let's say what the scripture say,
I
brother.
have to correct you. Look, verse 19. God is addressing you directly now. Yet say you why? Does not the son bear the iniquity of the father? See how relevant? Does not the son bear the iniquity of the father? What does God say? When the son has done that which is lawful and right, and has kept all my statutes, and has done them, he shall surely live. The soul that sins, it shall die. The son shall not bear the
There's no
iniquity.
problem. There's no ambiguity.
I'm not finished. I am not
It's the same thing you keep on saying. It's the same thing.
No, what I'm doing is refuting in a very nice way.
Let's get to the
using
meaning
your own
of
scripture.
all.
That the
Let's
son does not inherit the sin of the father. If you cannot get over this, then take a break and go and study the subject.
No, this is clear.
Does
And
the
then-
son inherit?
Does
the son inherit?
Is that where you're coming? Okay.
Read this.
No,
Does
sorry.
the son inherit
In
the
that
sin of the
point,
father?
he said, if the father have done evil, and the son have done what is rightful. What is right, not evil?
You didn't understand my
What
question.
don't you understand?
My question
What
is this.
is right he has done, he will not bear the iniquity of the father. What is not so clear to you?
If the son is doing evil and the father is doing evil, does this verse say
doesn't
the
say
son
that.
is punished for the father's evil?
he doesn't.
The evil,
You're making it up. It doesn't say that.
When we talk about evil, the thing is, people what they don't understand,
That's his own philosophy.
things people
It
they don't
doesn't say that.
understand. Evil.
Excuse me.
If-
The sins of the father.
sorry.
No. The sins of the father.
Evil is a seed.
No, the sin,
No,
sin,
sorry.
sin.
Evil is a seed. Yeah.
Evil is also
is
seed.
a seed.
You got a lot of seeds there, you know.
It's a seed.
You should be a
It
farmer.
goes on. But anyway,
No, Mike.
no.
Do you know why this
Let's leave this.
conversation
Let's
is
leave.
not being
Are you promoting your
No,
seeds
so-
there?
no. This was not a debate anymore.
Everything has
We are talking about the debate.
I even have
We
a
are
seed
talking
as well.
about the debate.
So you were not there when Adam was being.
We were talking about
Talking
the
with
way way of salvation. Because Ezekiel did not bring salvation. Ezekiel did not bring salvation.
You wish that chapter Ezekiel 18 was not in the Bible.
I know about sin.
Isn't it?
I know about
You
the
wish.
sin.
I know many Christians, they wish chapter 18 of Ezekiel was not in the Bible.
We
Don't
don't
try
know.
to actually...
There is no ambiguity. I don't refute it. It's so clear. It's just you who try to use it in your I don't know. I mean, you try to use these verses to try to justify, to defeat.
Invite everyone
to defeat
who's watching
the
this.
sins that
Read
which
the whole
was imputed
chapter
in Jesus
18
Christ.
of Ezekiel.
That's all. There's no
and
problem
understand
with
this.
that.
Who is actually making sense?
Ezekiel, God was addressing the children of Israel in a social problem.
Nothing to do with social problem.
Yes, of course, there was
This
social
is
problem.
to do with the idea that you can inherit the sins
Yes,
of your fathers.
it's always
That's
been-
not a social
it's
problem.
always-
it's a theological problem.
It's always
It's a problem
been-
that you believe in, and God is saying you are no longer to believe in this.
It's always been there.
You know,
before Christ
If you don't
came.
want to listen to your God, it's
I
up to you.
no,
Let's move on. Did Jesus pay the penalty for the sins of mankind?
All mankind, yes.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Are you absolutely sure?
I am
Okay.
100%.
So you believe that Jesus took the sins of all the sinners and he paid the price? Yes. Okay. Suppose now I was a sinner according to the biblical definition. I rejected God, suppose, and I disobeyed God, I did all the bad things, all the wicked things that God says you shouldn't do. So according to the judgment, I should go to heaven or hell? I should go to hell. Because if I did these things, right? How many minutes would I be burning in hellfire? Or days?
In hellfire, there's no limit.
Eternal.
It's eternal. Yes.
Right. So now we are very clear. My punishment, if I were to disobey God and go against totally and be an arrogant,
believe in
stubborn,
Jesus Christ.
and not believe in Jesus Christ, I shall suffer eternal burning in hellfire. How long? You said it very clearly.
It's eternal.
Eternal burning. Good. If someone was to be a substitute and be a willing person to say, I will take the punishment.
The Son of God.
Wait, please, let me establish my case. If someone was voluntarily willing and say, I will pay the punishment that you are going to face. I will face it. I will take it on my shoulders. Yeah? If someone was to do that, how many days do they have to be punished in hellfire and burned in hellfire for? 1 day or eternal suffering in hellfire?
It's just the death. It's the act. It's the act
Punishment.
of death.
Punishment.
Act of death.
Yes.
It's the act of
Now
death.
you're again, you see what you're doing?
I'm not doing anything.
Okay.
I'm explaining you.
Listen.
Ask me
Did you not
and I will
agree?
explain to you.
Mike,
I will explain to you.
Did you not agree?
Yes.
My punishment was
Yes.
eternal
Yes.
burning in hellfire.
Yes.
So suppose this gentleman over there, who's not there, I'm just pointing to no one. Suppose there's a gentleman there. He's going to willingly take my place and
If you made a point, can I answer? Can I answer now? Can I answer?
I haven't made my point.
You asked me. It's
haven't
supposed
made
to
my
be
point.
eternal.
I haven't made my point. I'm
Finish,
establishing.
and I will answer you.
Suppose the gentleman over there is going to be my substitute, okay? On my behalf, going to be punished. So the punishment that this gentleman is going to be punished for will be equal or less. Equal punishment. Wait,
That's in a human, in a human
wait.
level. You're trying to judge
Mike,
this
Mike,
mystery
why
which
you
happened
interrupting?
on earth.
Mike,
I'm not.
Don't
Okay,
interrupt.
finish.
Don't interrupt. So if someone
You
is
haven't
going to,
finished, of course.
if someone is
I
going
thought you were
to,
asking me a question.
if someone is going to be willingly saying, I'll take your punishment. So if you're now in a court of law and you got fined £100 and someone says, you know what, you don't have to pay, I'll pay it. Does that person who's going to volunteer to pay the fine pay £100 or £1? Wait, I'm not asking you a question. I'm just illustrating to you. The punishment was £100. So whoever volunteers has to pay exactly £100 to waiver the punishment. If someone is going to take my punishment on their shoulders, they have to suffer and burn in hellfire for eternity. Whoever does that. You believe there is a candidate who became a substitute. There is a candidate, and that candidate is Jesus Christ himself. So, we are now going to examine whether indeed he substituted on my behalf or anyone else's behalf. If he is going to be a substitute, so he has to pay the equal punishment that I would have suffered. My punishment was eternal burning in hellfire. Not one day, not a million years or a zillion years, eternal burning in hellfire. So if Jesus was going to pay the same punishment, how long would he have to suffer in hellfire? Eternity. Not
good
one
point.
day, not 3 days, let me finish.
very
Not
good
3
point.
days, not 3 nights.
Don't say
He
it's
has
good.
to.
Because my friend.
Tim, brother.
No.
Brother, let
Listen.
me make my point clear.
As a Christian,
Mike.
as a Christian,
He has to.
he's messing you up, man.
Listen.
He's gonna lead you to hell. He's
Listen.
messing you up, this guy. Because when you stand there, Islam will
Can I
not
finish?
stand before
Can I
God,
finish? Can I
before
finish?
Jesus Christ. It's your
I
soul.
want to make
It's your soul.
my point.
It's your soul.
Right.
Seriously.
Okay.
It's messing you
So
up.
Mike, as you realize,
Messing you up.
Hindu will say the same thing what you're saying.
as you realize,
Yeah, no, it's
as
messing
you
How many hours
realize,
the Lord been on a tree? The answer in the Bible.
Answer the
Doesn't read
question.
Bible.
I'm gonna
Just
answer
you
it.
doesn't read the Bible.
I'm gonna answer.
so let me finalize that.
How
Let me
many
finalize.
hours the Lord
So
spent on
as
a
you
tree?
realize, if Jesus is going to take the punishment, it's okay, brother. The punishment. Listen to me then.
3
listen to me.
days, 3.
No, 9 hours. 9 hours.
Are you listening?
Finish.
Okay.
That's in
So
the no-
Jesus Christ.
Man, you're so rich, man. There's so much you can say.
Can you answer that?
In the
Can you
kingdom.
answer?
Don't answer yet. I need to finish.
You should sit down and talk about
this
the
way,
truth, man.
brother, come this way.
Go on.
Come this way.
No, leave him there. Leave him there. Just go, carry on.
Okay, thank you. So Jesus is a candidate.
Time another time.
So he needs to pay like for like.
You're not finishing. Finish, please, so I can talk. Because you keep on talking the same thing. It's the same thing you do. In the first day,
I'm
it's the same thing.
trying to make.
You have to finish. When you finish, and then you give me the time.
Cut me
so I
off
can
again.
speak. Yeah.
I'm trying to make you understand.
You don't understand me. Give me your opinion. I will answer you.
Don't interrupt
How
them.
long has been talking?
Don't interrupt them. Thank you. I'm making it as simple so everyone can understand here. So anyone who's going to be a volunteer has to pay the same like-for-like penalty. Jesus is my volunteer, according to your belief. He has to pay the same penalty of eternal suffering in hellfire. So, did he burn in hellfire for eternity? We are told no, he didn't. So he did not pay the penalty even for one individual like me. Let me finish.
Answer now.
You see, you can't answer until I finish.
Finish, please.
Two
You
more
keep on
minutes.
saying the same thing.
2 more minutes.
No, man, you are.
Look at your watch.
That's not the truth.
2
man.
more minutes.
You have to hear the truth. What is the
Okay,
truth?
16:07.
Keep talking.
Right.
Keep talking.
2 more minutes, brother. Remember, 2 more minutes. He's not going to interrupt for 2 minutes because that's the one I'm going to make my point. So now we have.
Messing up people, man.
Don't listen to him,
Messing up
brother.
people. You're messing
Tim,
you up.
Tim,
Seriously.
come this way. Come this way.
No, leave him there. You keep on talking. Leave him there.
So don't
He's my
interrupt
friend.
him.
That's all right. Keep on talking.
Okay. So now you have an individual, a volunteer, who failed to take the penalty for even one individual, let alone all the millions and billions of people around the world who's going to be going to hell according to the criteria of the Bible, right? So Jesus failed to even pay for one individual, even for one. It is not sufficient to say he's God, he died for 3 days. We never asked for qualitative punishment. If I say, you know what, I give you a brown, totally mint £1 coin, brand new, or £5, brand new. It doesn't matter because the penalty was £100 in my example. You have to pay £100. If the penalty is quantitative, not qualitative, understand the difference?
Can you finish?
My 2 minutes. You interrupted, so I'm going to have to go again. I get 1 more minute because of that, because you interrupted.
No way.
So don't interrupt them.
No way.
So don't
Keep
interrupt.
talking.
Thank you. So don't interrupt. Thank you. I've got 1 more minute still out of my 2 minutes. So the penalty was quantitative. So I can watch it. Quantitative, not qualitative. What I mean by that is, it's about the duration of punishment. Not only how severe the punishment is, but the duration as well. Not quality, but quantity. Jesus has not done the punishment quantitatively for all that duration. He failed miserably. So he cannot be a substitute. So I'm so sorry for all of the world of the Christians. No, look at the watch. You keep interrupting. You can't even be silent for 2 minutes.
Messing up people, man.
Not messing up. Look.
These people will stand in
You know
the
what?
judgment
Because he
day.
interrupted,
You
it is
will
only
make
fair.
this statement,
I
man.
take my
No, seriously. This is
minutes
serious.
back or seconds back.
Keep going, keep it. Can you
You
finish?
should pause.
Is it, you keep on saying the
No,
same
you
thing.
interrupt.
Yeah, go on.
That's not fair.
£5 is worth 500
Right.
quid.
Right. So, it is really sad to see that all the Christian friends of ours are hoping on something that someone has volunteered and taken their punishment, who is Jesus Christ, but he hasn't done that, as you now realize. He has not saved any one of you. So you have to be now responsible for your own action and own belief, like Jesus would be for his own self, for his own actions. So as I said, as you now realize, you were very sure earlier on that Jesus paid my punishment, and now you realize that wasn't the case. So I would like to know now from you, how do you reconcile? That's okay. How do you reconcile this discrepancy?
It's my turn now to talk, yeah?
No preaching.
Okay. What I believe, the Bible is true, and everything that it speaks is the truth. In the day Adam and Eve they sinned, God said, surely shall die. And he said, from the ground you came out, and from the ground you're going back. And he said to the serpent, who was the image of Satan, that the seed of the woman will bruise your head. So, because of death came through man, God loved the world, loved man, he created to his own image. He was working already the way, the plan of salvation to come and rescue man, because man is to live eternal. It was not only fleshly, but it was also spiritual. And the spiritual body of man does not die. So, the plan of God to send a man who shall come into time to save mankind, he was to come to save that which was not flesh, but which is spiritual. So the image of God that we will have. Because at the beginning God says, let's create man to our own image, to our own likeness. How are we in the likeness of God? In his spiritual nature. So, when we talk about salvation, why Jesus Christ is so important? The reason why it's so important, because God, when he was creating the world, this earth, Jesus Christ was there as the Son of God. He was the master crafter. He was there as God was forming the foundation of the earth, and everything was being created, he was there. And the reason why, because God created the world, this earth for him, his Son Jesus Christ, that he may sit on the throne and rule like the kingdoms of the earth, where they have kings and princes. So this earth was created for Jesus Christ. That's why Jesus Christ has to come down on earth out of the seed of a woman, but which was not of the seed of man, because it was conceived through the power of the Holy Spirit. That's why he was born of a virgin and came as a man.
Are you preaching?
I'm not
Can
preaching.
you answer his question?
No, I'm
Direct question. He asked you why he only died for 3 days and not for eternity.
I'm coming into death.
But you're preaching, brother.
No, I'm not preaching.
We know all these
I'm
stories.
explaining how
We
the
know all
one
that
who
story.
was to come, how he has to be born, because when I'm talking about birth, I'm going to go into this death, isn't it? I'm going to talk about his death as
When?
well. I'm coming. I've talked about how he was conceived
Come to the point.
without the seed of man, but by the power of the Holy Spirit.
We know that.
He grew as us. And why he has to grow up as us? Because the sin which Adam and Eve committed, by which death came, it was committed in the flesh. So Jesus was born also as you and me, and he went through that which we go in life. Suffering, hardship, tribulation. Jesus Christ went through this. In his day, the devil even tempted him, just the way he tempted us. But Jesus showed us how we can resist the
You're
devil.
losing your audience. You know
I'm
that.
not losing. I'm just
Come
explaining.
to the point. Answer his question.
I'm gonna answer now. So he has shown us the example life we have to live as a human being in order to overcome evil, to be those who are the children of God. And after he has accomplished his mission, he needed to die. And what the last thing is God has said, he will come to bruise the head of the serpent. So the power of the devil needed to be stripped away from him. That's the power he has over death. And Jesus Christ has to accomplish that. And what he came to deal with is death. Death needed to be defeated. Because when he died, he did not remain into death.
His question.
Yes, all I'm saying.
Is he going to be there forever?
No, he was not going to be there forever because he's the Son of God.
But it's not the same price. He didn't pay the same price.
The price he paid is the death he died.
3 days.
A righteous man who died without sin and rose to death.
That's the answer.
Rose from death to life.
You accept his answer?
That everyone now who shall believe in him, although they die, because that's what Jesus said, that whosoever may die,
So it's not going to be
they
forever
believe
in
in
hell.
me, they shall live again.
So he's not going to be in hell forever, eternity.
Sorry?
So he's not going to be in hell forever. Jesus.
He's not remaining in hell because
we were supposed
those who are in hell are condemned. But he went to take away the power of death from Satan and bring back life. And this life is what
That's
we
his
receive
answer. That's his answer.
to our
Okay,
soul.
we got your answer.
So all I'm saying, what we believe and that which we believe which is true, as Jesus made a statement himself, he says, those who believe in me, though they will die, they will live again. They will rise again. So Jesus came and restored life to mankind by faith through him because he's the Son of God. So when he is
So it was
coming,
qualitative, not quantitative. That's
no,
what you're asking.
no,
So it was about the quality,
it's
not about the quantity.
It's not the length of it. It's not. It's an act of defeating
What do you
death.
say about that, brother? What do you
It's
say
an
about
act of defeating
You got your
death.
answer. Let him
No,
reply.
no, it's an act of defeating death. So if you want to
So he didn't
make
pay the
this
proper price.
comparison with that which we see as a fleshly, and then it's a really I don't know how to say it, but it's a sad because you are comparing the things of God with the things of man, which are not equal, which are not the same. As the Bible says, 1,000 years is one day to God.
I think
so
I
you can't
think I
compare
understand
things with that
what
which
you've said
God
so far.
is doing or He has done with what we believe as human beings.
So for what you said, trying to address the question, I will let
Jesus
those
Christ
who
on the
are
cross.
here
He
listening,
didn't say, I am finished.
you make up your mind whether you justified in answering the question that I asked you. I mean, in my humble opinion,
Then he was willing to
you
go
haven't
to
really
the
answered the
cross,
question.
the place
Instead,
of the curse.
You've gone into all these stories about creation, how the role of Jesus and so on. That wasn't my question at all.
meaning. I've
That
told
wasn't my
you the
question at all.
meaning. Why?
What you've done,
Jesus cursed? Well, because he was dying for those who had broken
what
the law of
has
God.
happened is this.
He was made
Just like the
a
whole
curse for
idea
us.
that you are
That's
being
why he
sinful
went
and
to
punished
the
for
cross,
someone
to be
else's
made
sins
a
when you are
curse
not
for
even
us.
there in the Garden of Eden
He
when
took
this thing
away the
happened.
curse.
How
for
unjust
all
this
those
belief is.
who believe on him.
Likewise, you have a solution to this unjust belief by another unjust belief, which is what? Instead of someone being a volunteer to take the punishment like for like, they get away with paying nothing.
The law of God.
And yet you say, oh, there is a volunteer. If in a court of law,
It's not a,
I thought it was my turn to speak.
I say he was the Son of God. Please.
You had your fair time.
Look,
You had
when
your
you were
fair time.
speaking, I didn't speak. So at least have that decency. So what I realize is this. Just like the example in the court, when somebody is fined £100, in your belief in Christianity, someone comes along and says, you know what, let him go, I'll pay him £1 instead. And he says, yeah, that's fine. Even though it's £100 penalty, because you are paying, because you are someone famous, £1 is okay. That's not justice. Justice was to pay the same £100
Only a sinless
That was
man could
the
do it.
punishment.
Only an
So in
infinite
Christianity, as it began with an
Had he been a mere
unjust
prophet,
system
he could
where
never
you are
have
sinful
died for
and
our
being
sins,
punished for Adam's
but he was the
and Eve's sin,
eternal Son
which
of
has
God,
nothing to do with
the
you and me
infinite
because
Son
we were
of
not
God,
there, we didn't
and he
commit the sin.
suffered
How
on the
unjust
cross
it is.
the infinite
Likewise, the
wrath
solution
of
that
the
you're
Holy
proposing
God.
is also unjust.
In heaven
Instead of
today,
saying, oh,
the
someone
man, Jesus
is going to
Christ,
volunteer and take
is
all
the
the punishment,
still
like for like,
bears the
eternal
marks
suffering,
of the nail
someone gets
prints
away by
in
saying
his hands
3 days
and in his feet
in this
to show us
earth,
that he has
belly of this
borne
earth.
those sufferings right
I'm
into
so
heaven.
sorry to tell you,
Oh, my
it
dear
doesn't
friends,
make
do
any
not
sense to
reject
people who
the
use their
Son of
intelligence
God.
and their
You.
rationality.
That's why the Bible
Let me
says
finish.
the wisdom of this world is a foolishness.
The sin
That's
of
why it
the
says the
world.
wisdom.
Do
Sorry.
not pass by.